You. I really had a good time at the last spring in the show, but I hope we don't have to be. I can be in the tournament this year. You know what I mean? So, but you guys were great. How's Fred? Is he okay? Okay, good. Anyway, first off, give a congratulations to Coach Key. I know you got officially announced today as, or the press conference today as the head football coach. So congrats to Coach Key and his family and to President Cabrera and Mr. Batt. So, and I think Coach Key will do a great job. I mentioned this last week. So really excited for him, excited for Georgia Tech football. And I know he's, I don't know what the windows are, if they're out recruiting now or not. They are. So I know he's swamped and locked in on that. But congrats to him and his family. Secondly, we got Georgia tomorrow. Obviously, new coach with Coach White, and obviously I got great respect for Coach White and Georgia's program, and they're a good basketball team. They got a lot of good players. They've played a lot of guys to this point. So he's getting a lot of guys from different experiences, but they're a good team. They're well coached. They're really good at forcing turnovers. They're really good on the offensive glass. They're just a really good, solid basketball team that we're going to have to play our best game if we want to have a chance to win the game. And we'll have to play really well. And most importantly, we got to continue to get better, continue to improve, continue to play the right way. And obviously, we got Georgia on Tuesday, and then right behind that, you got Carolina to open up ACC play on Saturday. So a lot of great opportunities this week, and we just got to play really well.
I guess looking at this and knowing a little bit about the rivalry and trying to build some momentum, how important is this game for you? You've obviously learned about the downsides of it, and last year got on the right side of it. Just how do you look at it? Well,
I mean, look, Kelly, I understand the importance of the game for the fan base, and we all understand that. And whether we were playing anybody we're playing, you want to win the game. So, but I have great respect for what it means for Georgia Tech and the fans, and how important it is to the fan base. That being said, take that out of it for a second. We've just got to continue to get better. I want to make sure our team is progressing in the right path moving forward, especially as we enter going into ACC play. Whether it's Saturday and then coming back, later on, with ACC games later on. So we've just got to continue to get better. I think that's the important thing for us. That whether it's myself, whether it's you, whether it's the fan base, they see the guys continuing to progress. Obviously, you want to put the ball in the basket and defend the basket and do what you can to win the game. But if you feel as the coach that you're getting better and you're improving, hopefully that you have enough talent in pieces that if you're moving in that right direction, you're going to come up with enough wins throughout the season.
Josh, what are you still wanting to see from your players one game away from North Carolina? Are you guys where you want to be? And I'm sure as a coach, you're going to say no. Most coaches don't like it. But, I mean, even if you want to compare to years prior, do you feel like you guys are exactly where you need to be?
Yeah, no, I would say that, look, we're still a young team in a lot of areas. I do think there's been some, we've got some improvements that we've continued to make that I think we're better at today than maybe where we started. But we still have a lot of growth and room for improvement as we move forward, and that we've got to continue to get better. We just don't have any other option but to get better. As I mentioned after Friday's game, our margin for error is 0 to none in a sense. So we've got to be really good at the things that we can control. We're not a big team. We're not overly tall, but we are fast. We are quick. So the rebounding on the defensive end is so important for us that we limit teams to one shot, and those perimeter players have just got to stick their nose in there, got to get in there and come up with great hits for us to be able to rebound so we can start the break. That's a big thing for us.
With Debo, it seems like he might not be completely comfortable with his role yet. He's doing some nice cutting and some other things, but offensively doesn't quite seem like it's there yet. Is that, the size disadvantage, trying to play more of that stretch three? Is it kind of what do you attribute to maybe him starting a little slower than you thought?
Kelly, he's done a great job with his body. His body looks way better right now than it had last year, and he's more athletic. I think part of it is, last year he was over 40% three-point shooter, and so we need him to get back to, because he is an elite shooter, and we need him to do that. But I just think it's early season, and guys are trying to understand and figure things out. You got to remember, he's only a sophomore. He's only played a year and, not even a year and a half yet. So he'll get better as the season progresses. And there's been a lot of good that he's done that hasn't even showed up in the box score yet. And for us to be successful, we need him. We need him to be really good. And so I think just the more he plays, the more he gets in his comfort zone, the better he'll be. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. I'll talk with you tonight on the radio.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
We asked Davon and Debo about playing the right way. Do you feel like, particularly the last game versus Northeastern, you guys took a step toward playing more the right way, getting the shots that you want in the half court to get yourself high percentage looks?
Yeah, Andy, big thing for me, and you've been around me for 7 years, cutting. I have talked about cutting, and the violence of the cuts, both entering and exiting, are so important. And the speed, the intensity, the force that you're putting on those cuts is so critical. That being said, I thought we didn't start the game cutting at the speed that we needed to cut. And then as the game gradually on, we were cutting at a much higher level. And but I did overall feel in the game versus Northeastern we played the right way. I felt versus Iowa for the most part we played the right way. There were some times where we didn't. But within our offense, and we run Princeton offense in a sense, and so it's a lot of cutting, moving, ball movement, and for it to work, it's a very equal opportunity offense. And so there's good to that, and there's maybe not so good to that. You're not always going to be guaranteed, unless you call a play, exactly where you want to get the shot from and from who, because in a free-flowing concept offense that's like the Princeton, it's very equal opportunity. And because of the cutting and movement and ball movement, guys could get open shots where maybe you wanted somebody else to take it, but that's the downside of when you don't call a set play. On the positive side, it's harder to guard, it's harder to scout, it's harder to prepare for. It's a unique offense, and we're the only team in our league that does what we do. Some teams might run one play of it, but we run it as a offense, and so we're unique, we're different with it, and I think when we run it the right way, we're really good. And I think that gives us our best chance to win, and playing the right way is part of that.
With Jalen starting to see the light bulb come on a little bit, does it change how you approach, how you use Javon and Rodney and even Jordan going forward, and how they get those minutes, and also kind of how do you manage the mental piece for Jalen too? Because I know, playing this much for the first time, there's obviously going to be some mental fatigue at some point for him as well.
Well, Kelly, I think I think our best when Jalen's good and we're good. And I think, we all agree you can see his potential and his upside. And yes, there's going to be some ups and downs, but it's sort of like the Moses Wright thing and I'm not saying he's going to end up being like Moses, but you could see there's potential that you just eventually got to go with him, and you're going to make some mistakes along the way, but hopefully it's going to reap the rewards later on as he continues to grow and mature in playing. And the bigs have to all be ready. Everyone's, again, we're not a big team. And so that's why everybody's got to pull their weight, got to do their part. Just has to be really at a high level of compete and fight, especially on the defensive glass.
Looking at your schedule, you guys, other than North Carolina, you guys are home until January 7th.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, you've noticed that.
No, well,
How
we
much
got-
is that going to like? That's going to help you guys.
Yeah, well, we got home tomorrow. Then we're at Carolina. Then we're home the following Saturday, and then the next three ACC games are at home. So, you look at it. I think what is that? 5 out of the next 6 were at home. So, hopefully we protect home court. That goes a long way. None of the 5 games are easy, but. You need to protect home court. That's important to do. Got to play well. Got to play the right way, and protecting home court's a big key.
You guys haven't lost here yet.
Don't say that. Don't jinx me. No, no. I think no. So let's see. You're being at home is obviously a positive. So we have won. Moose 4 games at home this year, and then we had won the last game versus Boston College last year. So I think we're at we have had a 5-game winning streak here at McCamish, and so hopefully we can make it 15 by the year's end or something, 17, whatever it may be. That'd be kind of cool. But 1 game at a time, 1 possession at a time, and we're just going to have to, as I mentioned earlier, literally our margin for error is, 0 to none. Is that even? I guess 0 to none's the same thing, right? I guess so. But so I guess it'd be 1 to none, Anyway, you guys get my point. So we just got to really compete, and especially on the defensive glass. Okay, thanks everybody. Okay.